Just gonna. Alright, there we go. The stream has been sent to the server. Now let's just get this set up here. I had this perfect earlier. I need to. I think that's good enough. Apologize for the lackluster camera quality and positioning and whatnot, but I figured a live stream is better than, nothing. So I'll just give it a few minutes to see if anybody wants to join in, but I still got a couple things to do to prepare as well. Well, I see that I see that Aiden has joined the live stream. So that's wonderful. Being honest, I didn't even plan any matches for this event. I honestly just did this literally on a whim. I haven't even done a test fight, to be honest with you. This is all just completely spontaneous, spur of the moment kind of stuff. Also, it is raining outside, so you can probably hear that in the background. And if the live stream cuts out or goes off or reduces quality for any reason, it's probably because the weather outside is absolutely dreadful. So, yeah, we've got the arena set up, and I've got some makeshift lighting going on. I got some flashlights and a freaking camp lantern because there's no lights in here because it's just a wooden shed. Yes, it is indeed the awesome new shed. This is the very first time that Robot Hell has come to this shed. The very first time that we are using this arena setup as well. And actually, before we start, I'll just give the camera, for documentation purposes, a quick overview of what this arena looks like. Got the orange square, a beautiful Robot Hell mural, and of course the red square, and just for the hell of it, some parking stalls for all of the bots, since they will be parked over here, and the action will be all in this square. And as Aiden just pointed out in the comment section, there are no walls on this arena, and I will elaborate on that in just a few moments. As we get our camera positioned back over here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least 2 out of the arenas during this event, but we'll just have to find out. It's been about 4 minutes now. I think the only person in the stream is Aiden, but honestly, that's okay with me because this is more for documentation purposes than anything. I want to see SOB fight on this. Push it off the freaking table. Well, anyway, I think that's enough stalling for the not for the original. That's enough stalling for the pre-event circumstances here. So, without further ado, I think it's about time to get into tonight's event. So we're going to move the flashlights around to their actual final positions outside of the arena lines, which are done in chalk in case anybody couldn't tell. It's pretty freaking obvious, but I don't need anybody yelling at me saying, "Oh my god, you just ruined a perfectly good table with your horrible paint!" No, it's chalk, you idiot. Calm down. I could probably throw it outside and it'd be completely gone in like 30 seconds. Again, I apologize for the lackluster lighting situation. It's probably hard to see much of anything, but it's just kind of a thrown together job here, and I figured some documentation for tonight's events is better than none. Again, I don't have any fights lined up for tonight. I figured I'd just make it up as I go. It's not that professional of a setup here. I do know for a fact there is one matchup that cannot occur tonight, and that is Battle Turd versus Pete's Clubhouse, because I somehow lost one of the tracks for the track base. So they're going to have to be swapping left tracks throughout the entire event. So they can't fight each other tonight because I'm an idiot. With that being said, we're just going to move the robots back into their pit stalls. I have the flashlights here. I think most of the pit stalls are off camera, but I don't really care. It's the in-ring action that is what matters here tonight. Oh yeah, the cheap LED strip. That's right. We'll set that on. No, should we set it on static red or flashing red? Flashing red will probably mess with the focus of the camera. Let me see. That's just going to be too distracting. I'll leave it on regular red. There we go. These cheap $5 Dollar Tree LED lights. Very, very cool. I do have a pair of real ones, but I couldn't find them, and these cheap ones are better for Robot Hell anyway, because, I mean, you don't really need an expensive pair of, like, $50 LEDs for a thrown-together event like this. You know, it's whatever, really. Seen Aiden make a couple suggestions for tonight's fights. Battle Turd versus Apocalypse would probably be very one-sided, but it would be interesting nonetheless. Wicked Wyvern versus Battle Turd, I want to say we've seen once before. That would be even more one-sided. Battle Turd versus a Flipper is basically like me versus food. Not a fair fight. You did also mention Toxic Drake. As we know, Toxic Drake, probably, if not the single most iconic Robot Hell competitor, Robot Hell bot of all time. Robot Hell 4 champion, and multiple liveries, multiple skins, multiple appearances. Got probably more fans than any bot in the Robot Hell roster. It was, a couple days ago, officially announced that Toxic Drake was being retired from competition, specifically from in-record competition, which does include tonight's events. So I'm here to confirm tonight that Toxic Drake will remain officially retired for the foreseeable future, which means we will not be seeing it again in competition. With that said, though, with all that blabbing out of the way, I think it is just about time to begin with the fights. Because that's what we came here to see. We didn't come here to listen to me blabber on about a bunch of nonsense that nobody gives a damn about. No. We came to see some robot fighting action. And that is what we are going to get into right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Robot Hell. We are here in the shed for the very first time, and we are debuting a brand new arena setup. And this arena setup that I like to call the Table of Doom. And that is because, as you can see, the Table of Doom comes equipped with 0 arena walls, which means that these opponents, these bots, these fighting machines will not only have to compete against each other, but they will also have to try their hardest to stay within the lines of the arena, because if not, they can look forward to a 3-foot drop onto the hardwood floor, and that will count as a disqualification, as a knockout, and as a loss. With that, I think we are about to ready to get underway with our first match of the evening. Starting off, we've got Battle Turd versus Apocalypse 101. Let's get these babies fired up and ready to go. Gotta take the freaking track off of Pete's clubhouse. Because I somehow freaking lost. I don't know how I lost it. I don't know where it is. It could be at Aiden's house for all I freaking care. For all I know, even. Because that's where most of the Robot Hell events take place. So my best bet is it's either in my boxes somewhere or it's there. And we are, unsurprisingly, we are already encountering some technical difficulties. Because this is my production, and of course we are. This always happens when I'm trying to do something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would appear that apparently the controller I have is dead. So, I've gotta go get another one. I hate myself. God damn it. We will be right back. Okay, we're back. Why? Why I didn't? Well, it was working earlier actually, but I don't know. I'm not too sure why it decided to stop working all of a sudden. But this is very professional. I know, extremely professional. I'm not sure why the controller decided to stop working right before the event was supposed to start. I'm not entirely sure why the controllers have just randomly decided to, well, stop working. Uh, they were working earlier. I did a test with the mobility of everything, and for whatever reason, they're no longer working. It's kind of strange. Maybe my controllers are just starting to, you know, I don't know if that's something that happens to Xbox controllers or not. I could just be crazy. I could just be an idiot. I think I am an idiot because actually now I've misplaced my screwdriver. But, oh god. This is what happens when you prepare a live stream in 30 minutes. It takes you 21 minutes to actually get started. Well, if anybody's actually still here, I think, I'm not going to say entirely yet, but I think maybe, now maybe we might actually be able to get into the fights. God, that's friggin' comedy gold. I do the incredible intro and then my controller stops freaking working. Okay. For anybody that may still be here, we are now finally about ready to get into the first fight of tonight's live stream Robot Hell NY Fight Night! Do another weapons test. And yes, this is a one controller night because I don't have anybody with me. Forever alone. That's okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to kick off our first fight in the red corner. It's Battle Turd. And in the orange corner, it's Apocalypse 101. One final weapons test before we get into it. I've got a timer off screen. 3 minutes will be on the clock for each of our fights. With that being said, are you ready? Because I know I am. It's time to begin our first fight here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night. Let's get them counted down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go! The Table of Doom is definitely an interesting aspect. Each of our competitors is going to have to try not to get off the table. Apocalypse 101 already coming in hard with the miss. Oh no, he goes off the table. Who could have seen that one coming? I should also mention that I did not do any practice fights before today's events. So this is all brand new driving experience for me. I did not practice this whatsoever. Well, Apocalypse 101 will be the first bot to succumb to the Table of Doom, which means that your winner is Battle Turd. An unexpected chain of events because Apocalypse 101 was coming in hot with those initial strikes. Battle Turd actually got lifted off of the ground there for a second. Apocalypse 101 unfortunately just nosedives right off the Table of Doom, and that is something that we're going to have to take into account here. These bots are not only fighting each other, but they are also fighting the lack of the safety wall. Something I'd say probably relatively unique to tonight's setup. I can't imagine there's many other arenas or tournaments where there's just no freaking walls and a 3-foot drop waiting for anybody unfortunate enough to drive off the edge. And that will do it for fight number 1. Battle Turd takes an unexpected W here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night. Let's not waste any time though. Let's get into our second matchup of the night. And in that, we are going to be seeing Pete's Clubhouse taking on Strikeouts. Special for this event, Pete's Clubhouse has been equipped with thumbtacks on its full body spinner. We're going to see how that plays into this upcoming match here. Now, Strikeout, of course, is prone to getting its hammer caught on the back of the body, so it'll be interesting to see if it can avoid that fate here tonight. We are getting into our second match. And this should be a good one. These bots are both nice and slow, and both tracked bases as well. So we could be seeing a little bit more action in the arena this time. Hypershock, I guess, was a little bit disadvantaged going into this one controller bout with no walls. But with that said, it's time to get into our second fight. Coming up next, in the red corner, it's Pete's Clubhouse. And in the orange corner, it's Strikeout. We've got the full body spinner. Well, will that be considered a full body? I don't know. We got the, yeah, I think full body spinner, whatever. Full body spinner taking on the Spike Hammer Bot. This should be an interesting bout. I believe these two have faced off against each other before. But with that said, it is time to get into match number 2. Let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go fighting! Oh, strikeout! Almost gets into trouble! Looks like Strikeout's arm has already been disabled. Pete's Clubhouse in trouble, look out! Oh, it's not looking good for Pete's Clubhouse, right on the edge! Oh wait, it's because, it's because I forgot to put the other track on Pete's Clubhouse. Oh my goodness. That would be why Pete's Clubhouse is having so much trouble. I forgot to put the track back on it. Stupid idiot. I was wondering why it wasn't driving straight. Okay, let's try that one again. We'll redo that one because that one wasn't exactly fair for Pete's Clubhouse. Again, because of my intelligence. This is a great live stream! Oh yeah, and Strikeout's stuck again. I don't know how to... If anybody... Nobody's watching right now, but if anybody in the comments or on the server can tell me if there's, like, kind of a way to stop the Rusty Bass's arm from getting stuck on the back. If there's any way to avoid that happening, you know, let me know. I don't know if there's, like, a way to file down either the arm or the back of the base so that it doesn't get stuck. But that would be very helpful because Strikeout is very prone to getting stuck. Alright, though, with that said, we're going to redo this match because I accidentally gave Pete's Clubhouse an unfair disadvantage. This has probably been the single worst robot fighting live stream in the history of ever. I'm glad to be a part of it. With that said, we're going to recount them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, strikeout! Oh my goodness! Pete's Clubhouse trying to run away. Trying to get those hits into them. A nice hit from Strikeout. Pete's Clubhouse trying to get fully spun up. Strikeout trying to make a move and almost. Oh, Strikeout takes out one of the LEDs. Strikeout once again. The arm seems to be stuck. There it goes, Unleashed. Gets stuck again. Pete's Clubhouse trying to take advantage. Using that newly found tractive power to push around his opponent. Strikeout trying to land a hit, but it's not working. That hammer's still stuck in place. Pete's Clubhouse trying to wind up for a good hit. Oh, Strikeout trying to get another hit in with the hammer, still stuck. So far, it's been a back and forth of tractive power. lot of awkward spots these bots can get caught up in when it's just one controller here. Oh no, Pete's Clubhouse hitting Apocalypse 101 in the pits. Trying to friggin' get them lined up just right, but they've kind of they've gotten out of sync a little bit here. This setup would be a lot better with more than just one controller. So if I ever do this again, I'll have to steal my friend and force him against his will to come fight robots. Here we go, hidden coming. We've got about 7 seconds left in the bout. I'll be honest, I have no freaking idea who's going to win this one, because it's been kind of dumb. And that is it. Time has expired in that, what you could call a fight. Yeah. Oh boy. Who do you even declare the winner of a match that terrible? Interesting. What are you gonna do, a visual inspection for damage on these? Strikeout's bat actually has a tear in it that wasn't there before, so Pete's Clubhouse did some damage to that. Both of Pete's Clubhouse's thumbtacks are still intact. The problem with Strikeout is that its hammer just gets stuck way too often to be effective in a full-time bout. I don't know, that match was so terrible, it's hard to think of a winner, but I think I'm going to give the win to Pete's Clubhouse just on the fact that it was pushing around a little more, and Strikeout really didn't have much offense going for it as it was getting stuck. It's not a win by very much, but I'm going to give the win to Pete's Clubhouse there, and that was definitely a match, all right, for sure. You can call that a match. Coming up next, we've got Flashbang taking on Wicked Wyvern. I was going to make a highlights reel for this live stream, but so far there's been like no highlights because these fights suck. I didn't expect these fights to suck that bad, but here we are. Hey, it's an experimental live stream, folks. It's all experimental. All right, match number 3 here on NY Fight Night. Coming up next, in the red corner, it's Flashbang. And in the orange corner, it's Wicked Wyvern. Now the only member of Double Dragon Robotics. So we're going to see if he can hold up the legacy of Toxic Drake as Toxic Drake once did. So far, it hasn't. But you never know. Maybe it will. All right, we've got 3 minutes on the clock for our next fight. We are ready to get underway. So let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wicked Wyvern, of course, having a bit of a hard time turning on this surface. Flashbang's going to have to do donuts while Wicked Wyvern turns around here. Flashbang trying to reverse into Wyvern here as he gets turned around very, very slowly once again. Here we go! Oh my goodness. This is the fight of all time. Oh, there's a good hit from Wyvern. Flashbang trying to go around in circles using its weapon. Now that's a good method of attack. Both trying to stay on the table of doom here. All Wyvern really needs is one good flip off the table. I don't know if he's going to get to it, though, with his severe lack of handling on this surface. Oh, that was a hard hit. You could hear that one. Plastic to plastic. So far, it looks like Flashbang in full control of this fight. Once again, trying to get Wicked Wyvern where he wants him. Oh, there we go! A huge flip from Wicked Wyvern! Flashbang trying to move! And he's back on his feet. Wicked Wyvern chooses to flip him back over. Now, Flashbang actually has some extra tape on top, so he couldn't move upside down. Wicked Wyvern he could have took the dub right there, but instead, choosing to save the fight to make it go on even longer. That's really bad for Wicked Wyvern. He could have ended the fight right there in a dub. But now that he's let Flashbang continue, I think Flashbang's going to get this one. Unless he does it again! Wicked Wyvern with the second flip of the night. And this time he's not going to let it loose. And there goes the timer. What a fight that was towards the end. The start was really, really slow and agonizingly painful, but the end of that fight was pretty exciting. I don't know, Wicked Wyvern, technically that was not 10 seconds, so that would not have counted as a count out per official Robot Hell rules. But since Flashbang was immobilized at the end of the fight, your winner is Wicked Wyvern. Getting the crucial flips that he needed at the end of the fight. Just like Toxic Drake following in its footsteps, all it needs is one good hit and the fight is basically over. Well, that is going to conclude fight number 3 here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night. Now here's a bit of a demonstration of why Flashbang cannot really move upside down like it should be able to. Not only does the holographic skin add more space to in front and behind the wheels, especially this part right in the front right here. The the piece that goes in and holds the weapon mount in place is actually upside down. The bottom's right there. So... and that's because the nut on the base was lost, so it has to be held in upside down with some tape for the weapon mount to stay in place. I'm kind of surprised the weapon mount didn't fall out of place in that fight. But that's just kind of the given reason why Flashbang was not able to drive upside down in that fight when it has been able to previously, and the Tombstone base in general. And so that is all of the bots that have been in a fight. Let me check my battery percentage since we're not exactly on full battery here. 24%. We're going to get into some more fights here. Some exhibition, well, they're all exhibition rounds, but these do count towards all the bots' official records. Let's see, what would be an interesting fight to have? We need 2 bots that can kind of turn around at the same pace, you know. Let's see. Let's take Battle Turd. It was just in a match, but let's take Battle Turd versus Flashbang. I think that'll be a cool one. We've got a vertical drum spinner versus a horizontal bar spinner. They're both pretty agile. So this does have the potential to be an interesting match. Besides, if I'm going to make this a video highlight reel, I need at least a little bit of action. Alright, our next match in the red corner, it's Battle Turd. And in the orange corner, it's Flashbang. I just realized I've lost half of my flashlights. They've been knocked off by the bots. I don't even know where the pink one went. Oh, there it is. Right there. Alright, we are ready to get into our next fight. Battle Turd versus Flashbang. Let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's fight! Battle Turd, immediately we're seeing some spinner-to-spinner hits. Oh, Flashbang getting really close. Oh no, he's stuck on the LEDs. Oh no, Flashbang falls off the edge. Oh no. Oh dear, Flashbang falls off the edge. Oh boy. We're gonna pause the timer. Oh god. That match actually has potential, so you know what? We're going to keep it going, actually. We're going to call for a restart, kind of an unstick situation. We're going to keep it going, because why not? Let's get them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, Flashbang maybe trying to take the tread off of Battle Turd right there. Might not be a bad strategy. Oh my god, he fell off again. Okay. Alright, I think that's it. If he falls off twice, I think that's good enough to end the match. Which means Battle Turd is 2-0 today. By the same means of disqualification. Again, these fights aren't exactly completely 100% serious. Everything's on the line, so we can afford to have some experimentation. All right, let's see who's coming up next. I feel like having Apocalypse 101 here is very not good because all the other bots are very, very slow moving. I think the other fastest bot here is Flashbang. So you know what? We're going to bring it right back. Alright, next up, we've got Apocalypse 101 taking on Flashbang. Let's see how this one goes. If I had a wager guess, this one's probably not going to end well. Let's count it down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh yeah, Hypershock is not... Hypershock is not suited for this with a one controller setup, is it? There we go. Now both spinners are going at the same time. Oh, there's a good hit. Oh, wow. Flashbang actually got off the ground a second. I feel like Hypershock would be... Oh, no! Hypershock would be really good in this setup if... you know, if it was two people. If you could actually, you know, kind of somewhat better control where Hypershock is going, it would be a lot better. It would be really good, actually, I want to wager. I'm just going to keep this one going, because this has good potential. You can kind of call this episode of Robot Hell Fight Night Live more of an experimentation than anything. At this point, we're not playing for what's on the record. We're just kind of seeing what we can do with the setup and how many times we can knock Apocalypse 101 off the table. Put him back in without the plow. It fell off. Oh, Flashbang having some trouble moving. I think the weapon mount may have been dislodged. Wow, one of these bots is vibrating really hard. I think it's Flashbang. There's the timer, but you know what? I'm honestly just gonna keep going until something happens. This is pretty cool. Again, more experimentation than anything at this point. We've already got all of our main card fights over with. Call this the, I don't know, encore, I guess. There's chalk all over these wheels right now. Apocalypse goes off the table once again. You know, shockingly, one controller fights are much easier when there's walls. God damn it. Apocalypse 101 is going to be broken by the time I'm done. We'll call it there, folks. We'll call that one there. I think we've got the point. Oh yeah, the weapon mounting was definitely loosened up a little bit by all those spinner-to-spinner hits on Flashbang. Not enough to where it would come out, which is a good sign that I'm doing something right. Alright, I think next up, let's do Wicked Wyvern versus Pete's Clubhouse. It's good to have a Bronco base that doesn't double fire. Well, actually, at this point, Toxic Drake's gears are so stripped that it's actually more like quadruple, quintuple firing. That's why it's retired, folks. That's why it's retired. This is probably going to be another one where we're not even going to see any connections because they're so different. All right. In the red corner, we've got Double Dragon Robotics, Wicked Wyvern. And in the orange corner, we've got Pete's Clubhouse. 3 minutes are on the timer. Let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. . Oh, Wicked Wyvern with a good hit. Ow, almost gets the flip on Pete's Clubhouse. Oh, so close. He's got him right where he wants him. Pete's Clubhouse gonna spin up! Oh, Wicked Wyvern with the flip once again. Well, almost flip. Wind kind of goes under Pete's Clubhouse. Oh, and the track has been disconnected from Pete's Clubhouse. Pete's Clubhouse in a dire situation now with the lack of that track right there. He's kind of hit another dire situation with the controls here, folks. I'm trying so hard. Oh, it's so hard to Pete's Clubhouse. Oh no, Wicked Wyvern goes off the end. Self-rights itself on the floor. Well, that was an interesting fight. Wicked Wyvern loses to the table. Pete's Clubhouse kind of loses to its own track right there. Not able to get momentum or, well, more specifically, not able to get traction without the track. Wicked Wyvern must have knocked it off one of the times it went under. I'm surprised Wyvern didn't get an actual flip in there. It was really close multiple times. We're just going to go under the table a minute and get Wicked Wyvern. All right, well, I guess technically Pete's Clubhouse would have won that via out of the arena. Well, Wicked Wyvern had some great moments in that fight too. Completely dominant, I would say. Oh, the fight kind of reached a stalemate once Pete's Clubhouse couldn't really turn. And there's the timer. This has definitely been a thought-provoking experiment here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night. Was this my best idea? No. No, not even slightly. I probably should have just done this in the actual arena. It would have been a lot better. Next time I'll bring the actual arena out maybe, put it on the table of doom, and then use the actual arena that has the walls and stuff in it, but I'd say this was a worthwhile experiment, you know. Everything's worth a try at least once. Well, with that, I guess we have reached the end of Robot Hell NY Fight Night for today. Actually, you know what? Since I have it here, since it is currently in the building, you know what? Nobody's watching this, but the clip will be shared. How about a little bit of a surprise? For our final match, and for what you could call the main event here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night, we are going to be seeing Wicked Wyvern taking on, that's right, Toxic Drake, coming back for one final match here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night. If I had the right controller, that would be great. Yeah, that's right. That's right, my dear non-existent audience. You heard me correctly. And your eyes are not deceiving you. Because Toxic Drake is in the building and ready for one final fight here on Robot Hell NY Fight Night. And it is against, of course, his successor, his teammate, Wicked Wyvern. The surprise of a lifetime. I just announced about an hour ago that Toxic Drake was officially retired. And now we are seeing one last time in the arena tonight. Are you ready? 3 minutes are on the clock. Pete's Clubhouse is still connected. Let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Wicked Wyvern! Toxic Drake self-rights with its automatic flipper. Oh, and Toxic Drake knocks Wyvern off the table with the flip. Toxic Drake takes the win. Unbelievable. One last time. Toxic Drake in the arena takes out Wicked Wyvern for his last ever career victory. And with that, Robot Hell NY Fight Night has come to a dramatic conclusion. We hope that you either enjoyed the live stream or will enjoy the highlights reel that will be shared later eventually. With that, we thank you for watching and or tuning into Robot Hell. Congratulations to all of the robots who managed to somehow stay on the table. And in honor of Toxic Drake, we are signing out.